Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. I just want to come and shed a little light just to let somebody know what God has for me is for me, and the devil can't take what God has for me in the name of Jesus. I just want to come on here and shed a little light. Just tell somebody I'm not paying to be on your platform. I'm not paying to be on your podcast. I'm not paying to be in your magazine. I will not compromise myself. I will not try to fit in and make people think I'm better than what I am, try to make people think that I'm got so much motion and make people think I don't have to make people think nothing. Let me tell you the doors that God is going to open for me. The doors that God is going to open for me are the doors that God is going to open for me. I don't have to try to get myself in them. I don't have to pay my way to get in them. God is going to open them. See, we try so hard. We be anxious for everything. We be anxious for people to know our name. We be anxious for every platform. We be anxious. And God said we are a peculiar people. We are set aside. We are not like the world, but we go to the world for so many things so the world can make us famous. The world can make us known. The world can do these things for us. I don't need that. This man offered me to be in a magazine for $125. First of all, I'm not paying no $125 to be in no magazine, right? Because for one issue and on the cover, if I pay $125, I better be on every issue, every cover, every place for the whole 12 months that we have. If I'm paying $125, right? But you know what that sounded like to me? That sounded like the devil when he was talking to Jesus, when he was on the mountain and he told him, if you will bow down to me, I'll give you all this. That's what it sounds like to me. If you will bow down and give me your money, I will make you famous. I don't need to be famous. I don't need to be seen. All I need you to know is that Christ is in my life, that Christ is moving, that God is the glory for everything that happens in my life. I don't need you to see me on the cover of a magazine. Let me explain to you why I'm not paying for nothing. Denzel Washington is not paying GQ to be on the cover of their magazine. Guess what? They are paying Denzel Washington. You know why? Because now, if I got Denzel Washington on the front of my magazine, that means my magazine gonna sell because everybody want to see Denzel Washington. I don't need to partner with everybody. I don't need to be in everybody's face. I don't need to do them things. God has me set aside for a reason. And I thank God. Lord, keep me different. Yes, sometimes it gets lonely because you want the friends. Sometimes you want to have a girls trip. Sometimes you want to do those things. But God said, I'm going to give you these solid people that's going to be in your life. That's going to pray with you. That's going to fast with you. That's going to, walk this walk with you. That's all I need in my life. I don't need everybody to know my name. I'm not on Cheers. I don't need everybody to know my name. That's what's wrong with everybody. Everybody needs to know your name. No, they not. God is opening doors for you that no man can shut. God is behind the scenes. Even when it seems like God is quiet, he's still moving. He's moving in the land. So you don't have to compromise yourself. You don't have to pay money to get in these doors to make people think that you are doing something. To make people think that you are influential, to make people think. The reason why so much stuff flops because we don't ask God. We don't inquire of the Lord. Lord, what should I do? Lord, where should I go? He said, if you seek ye the kingdom of God first and his righteousness, all these things going to be added unto you. Draw closer and near to God. The more you draw to God, he will abide in you. He will give you the desires of your heart. He will do that. But we got to understand that it's all for God's glory. It has nothing to do with us. But we want everything fast. I get it. I understand. I used to think in my mind, when I write a book, it should be a bestseller because, God, you told me to write it. But that's not how God operates. That's not how he operates. Sometimes we have to wait. I know we don't like to wait because I don't like to wait. And that's why we use the microwave so much, because we want a microwave world. We want it fast. The instructions on the box say you can put it in the oven for this many minutes or you can put it in a microwave. Guess what? Everybody choosing a microwave. My sister, sometimes she tell me if I'm fixing noodles, why do you put your noodles in a pot? Because I'm not accustomed to a microwave. When I lived in Decatur, I didn't even have a microwave. I barely used this microwave that's here, maybe heating up some butter, whatever the case may be. But no, we cook on the stove and we cook in the oven, because guess what? It tastes better. It's more healthier. You may have to wait, but that's how it is. See, we get mad at God because he tells us stuff. He gives us the warnings, but we go ahead anyway. God, why this relationship didn't work? He's letting you know, I gave you all the red flags. I told you this is not the person for you. But because you had a feeling and you claim you have butterflies, you chose to be with this person. Lord, why did you give me this job? He said, no. God letting you know, I didn't give you the job. The job I had for you was paying $17 an hour, but you wanted the job that paid $29 an hour so you can have more, but now you catching more hair on the job. Nobody likes you. Nothing is going right for you. But when you have the $17 for the hour job, everything was working for you. And I was going to give you increase, not from the job, from other places. But we don't want to wait on God. We don't want to trust God. We want to pay our way through. We want to compromise to make people think you don't have to know me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to. Look, y'all, you don't. I'm not trying to be seen. I'm not. When people come up to me and be like, I know you, I look around and get not suspicious but cautious. Like, where do you know me from? Because somebody might know me. I might have did something to somebody. And somebody might know me from back in the day. And be like, now here you are. And they, whatever the case may be. No. Stop being anxious for stuff. I'm not anxious. I don't know if they looked at my wig and was like, she looked like she needs something. No. I'm okay. I'm okay with what God is doing in my life. Let me explain something to y'all. And I'm going to shed a little light. Last year I had a book signing, right? God gave me the date. It was my mother's birthday, 4/22. He told me the place to have the book signing. It was at Popcorn Heaven, right? So I was in there, my books, whatever the case may be. Miss Young kept coming over. You doing all right? Because nobody was coming over there. They was looking at my books, but they wasn't doing nothing. So I sat there patiently, whatever the case may be, because one thing about God, I know when he gives me a date and time, it's going to be effective, right? I just can't be everywhere and do everything strategically by God, right? Because he orders my steps. If he order your steps, everything going to work out. There was one lady. And this is how I want y'all to know that one person can change your life. You looking for all these 10 people, all these people, but all it takes is one person to give you that breakthrough, to give you that financial blessing, whatever the case may be. This lady came and sat and talked to me. Do you know this lady bought every one of my books? And each one of my books, she had me sign it differently to somebody else because every book matched that person. When Miss Young came back over there, she said, wow. She came at one time, I had a table full of books. The next time she came, I didn't have not one book. All it took was that one person. That's why I don't get mad about support. That's why I don't get mad if my family don't buy it. Because guess what? God can use a stranger. I didn't know that lady from a can of paint. Ms. Young said, I have a lot of things that come in. When they come, I'm going to call you. Guess what, y'all? She done had stuff. She never called me. I'm not mad. She probably can't call me because God is letting me know I order your steps. That's not for you. That's for whoever was in her vicinity to have their, whatever the case may be, they were selling. So you have to understand one thing in life, that what God has for you is for you. Stop looking at other people's life and envying their life, being jealous, want to be like them. Because that's not what God has for you. What works for them, it may not work for you. I heard a lot of people say, I thought I was going to do this, but God had me do something else, right? And guess what? They're just as happy because they align themselves with God's assignment and what he has for them. But once again, I'm not paying to be on your podcast. I'm not paying to be in your magazine. I'm not paying to be on your platform. Whatever God has for me, he will open the door for me. I have never had to pay for nothing. And I'm not saying as in a place. like trips. You got to pay for those, whatever the case may be, stuff like that. But any door that God had me speak in, I didn't pay to be there. So I'm not paying you no $125 to be on the cover of your magazine to make people think that I'm influential. My greatest ministry, and I tell y'all this all the time, is off camera. I do things behind the scenes. God said, what you do in secret, you will be rewarded openly. That time will come. So I'll wait on the Lord. Y'all be blessed.